tonight's show, everyone. As always, I'm Rick Russell alongside Seminole head coach Jonathan Calder. Tonight we're going to talk about our upcoming opponent tomorrow night and the 1-0 Bel Air Big Reds. We're also going to have two Seminole football players on as guests. Before we get into any of that, we're going to talk about the heartbreaking loss, 21-20, against the Liberty Union Lions. Coach, I know it was a tough loss. A game we probably should have won. Statistically, pretty even.
Yeah.
The score, pretty even. 1 point loss. It's tough to let one like that slip by, but we made some mental errors. We had some mistakes. We had some penalties, things that just not characteristic of us. But I guess it is week one. Those things happen. We lost 13 seniors last year. That's no excuse, but we got a lot of inexperienced guys, kids on this football team that we got to coach them through all this. So, your thoughts on the loss to Liberty Union?
Yeah, it was a tough one. Honestly, we had the 1 point loss last year in the season. Then we started out, with the 1 point loss this year. But honestly, I kind of take a lot of that blame for this loss. There was miscues and things like that. But I honestly, with the young kids, there were some mental errors by even the coaching staff, some timeouts we had to take to get some plays in and things that, maybe we took a little bit for granted last year with all those seniors and all those veteran players. But, moving forward, and that's what I talk to kids about moving forward, it's got to be better by everybody, all the way from players to coaches to, everybody on the staff. So, but overall, the game, I thought the effort was there from the kids. We can always get better at tackling and things. We're still not where we need to be. But, they got behind. They went ahead. They got down a little bit in the second half. They pulled ahead. And then, but there was effort the entire game. But the miscues and the things like that, it can't happen in tight games. I thought we should have kind of put them away in the first half. Didn't. Missed some wide open passes, things like that. But overall, it comes down to me. I'm the head coach, and I'll take all the blame for that loss. The kids put the effort in, and the only thing I could tell the kids, the positive part, was the effort. I thought the effort was there all night. So, like you mentioned, yards-wise, I think we're right there. We had 311 yards on 47 plays, and they had 326 yards on 48 plays. So, that's almost exactly the same. Obviously, the score's almost the same. But, yeah, it was definitely a heartbreaker. I was sick to my stomach when I woke up Saturday morning and Sunday morning and Monday morning. So, I take those losses very personally and very hard. So, we've been working all week to correct some things. So, hopefully tomorrow night, you get a better product.
Yeah. And, despite the loss, there were some good things that came out of it. Brady Stemper with 14 tackles. Evan Howard had double-digit tackles as well. Ashton had 3 CBLs. Cooper ran the ball well. He ran it often.
Yeah.
He ran it well, 163 yards rushing, I believe.
Yeah.
So that speaks a lot for the line. We didn't throw a whole lot. Cooper was running the ball well. So, but
yeah, we had 263 yards rushing. It was like 6-7 yards a carry, 6.6. So, and that's with the line that honestly returned 2 starters from last year, Parker Seifert and Ashton. Ashton was kind of banged up as well, and that's no excuses or anything like that. He was banged up. We were trying to kind of keep him out of the game. We eventually put him back in. But we had, a lot of inexperienced guys, and like I said, that's no excuse. Those guys played well. Honestly, the whole team played well. It was just things didn't go our way. Very frustrating loss to it. And not that they're a bad team, but I think we're a better team than that.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe not a better team. They were a good team, but a better team that showed up on Friday night, for sure. We are a better team that showed up. So.
Okay, well, tomorrow night we face a tough opponent in Bel Air Big Reds. So it's time to put this loss behind us and
yes, sir.
focus on tomorrow night. And I know you guys did that Sunday, put a studied film, put it behind me, and went to work on Monday.
Yep.
So I'm sure we're going to be ready. Let's take a short break, Coach, and we'll talk to the aforementioned Brady Stempert, his really good defensive night he had. So
Yes, sir.
we'll take a short break, guys, and we'll return in just a few moments. Welcome back to the show, everyone. We're here with our first guest of the evening, our starting safety, Brady Stempert. Braden, congratulations on one heck of a game you played defensively, man. That's pretty impressive. And last year you were kind of the face of our kickoff team. You know, everybody enjoyed watching you fly down the field and throwing your body around and busting people, and pretty cool to see. So I know you stepped away from football for a couple of years and you didn't play, and you and I have talked about it and you regret it, but during your time off you kind of lost that edge, but it seems like this year you've regained it. You know, you played an excellent football game last Friday night. So tell us how you earned that starting job at safety, and tell us a little bit about your off-season work, you know, the scrimmages, the 7-on-7, the weight room, and what have you.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was working on my reads and stuff, because I think the hitting and stuff kind of came naturally to me. I always have when I played football, but the main thing was working on my reads, not getting caught up on stuff.
I know you wear number 10, that's the number I wore back in high school. Who's the hardest hitter, Uncle Rick or Uncle Mike?
I'm going to say, I'm going to have to get Uncle Mike on this
Uncle
one.
Mike, I was going to give you $20, man. I was going to fill your truck up. Yeah. Televised when you put me down there. Who's the fastest?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I'll give you $10 now. All right, so I know Coach Shoemaker, he was extremely happy with your performance in the first half. He actually came to me when you guys came out of the field house there at halftime and asked me, you know, if I had said anything to you or anyone in the family had said anything to you. He said, "This is the Braden I've been waiting to see since he started playing high school football." So you were quick to read like a lot of the runs. And I know these coaches put together one heck of a scouting report. You guys follow it, you study it, and what have you. Did you notice any tendencies for Liberty Union's offense? Because like you were on the line of scrimmage like that.
Yeah. We was kind of working up that week, knowing they're not really a pass-heavy team and they like to run the ball a lot. So, I mean, I was paying attention to my reads, making sure nothing was behind me, but when I seen that ball, I'd run up to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I actually told Darren Dimmerling, you know, he actually pointed it out to me, and I seen it, but he said, you know, Braden's coming, he comes up fast, you know. And I told him, I said, well, let's hope he doesn't come up too fast, you know, and gets burnt down the middle. So definitely something you'll pay attention to, I'm sure. Now, you've not been a very good kid. How much you weigh?
140 pounds.
140? Oh, come on, that knows, 140. So we haven't really had a hard-hitting defensive back since Michael Bunny, which really hasn't been all that long ago.
Right.
It seems like it.
A lot of similarities between the two.
Yeah, both small stature and hard-hitting kids. I mean, it's great. Like I mentioned before, he was the face of the kickoff team. We loved watching him fly down through there. I remember the Bridgeport game, when we played down there. It was the opening kickoff, and he flew down the field and hit the first kid, and he drove him like clear to Martin's Ferry.
Yeah.
And he come to the sideline, I said, hey, that's all good and well, but you got to shed that block and make the tackle.
Yeah.
So, much improved, much improved. But so this hard-hitting trait and this no fear, because you throw your body around for a kid your size.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's better be the hammer than the nail. Not getting hurt.
Well,
Put the boom on rather than getting the boom put on you.
yeah.
That's a good answer.
You did great, bud. So we have 9 more regular season games left on the schedule. And, you know, the next game isn't guaranteed. You know, God forbid anything happened to any of the athletes, but, you know, something could. You know, you could mess your knee up, sprain an ankle, pull a hamstring, be out for the season. So last weekend, you and I, you did some work for me there at the house, and we talked briefly about leadership. And that's something that it's very important to this locker room, very important to the young kids in this locker room, and very important to this team. What can you do better as part of being a leader on this football team?
Letting people know when they're out of line, because, I mean, that's what Law did last year. He wasn't afraid to tell people when they're doing stuff wrong. Loud person, just being a nice person overall, but also not at the same time.
Yeah, and that's a good example. Logan Powell last year, you just mentioned, not a very big kid, didn't play every snap, but he was leader of the football team, like the vocal leader.
Yes.
And, Logan is at Muskingum right now playing football. So, that leadership goes a long way after you walk out of this locker room. So let's look at this week's opponent, the Bel Air Big Reds. They have an extremely talented running back. I'm sure you've heard about him all week long. I'm sure you've seen video of him all week long. And I'm sure the staff here has put together a great game plan defensively to stop Pettigrew. What are we going to have to do tomorrow night to stop this kid?
Nothing behind us, that's for sure. Not letting up on shallow routes. That's none of my business. Letting the linebackers do their work and cleaning up what they can.
Perfect. Coach, you got any comments to add, Brady?
Yeah, it's great to hear him, and that's a scouting point. Can't let Pettigrew make big plays, so that's something that he's been paying attention to this year. I can remember when Coach Acosta would tell kids or tell other people that a kid was a hitter, and that was always one of my biggest compliments, coming from Coach. This kid's a hitter, all right? I mean, he's been, from day one, a hitter. You can't teach that, you can't coach that, so we knew even in his first year that he was a hitter. Come down, like you mentioned, on kickoffs, love to see that. And he's just gotten better and better in this year. He's starting at safety, doing a good job. And he talked about the 7-on-7s getting better, understanding his reads, and it took that. He hasn't had a lot of reps this year there, so got much better as the 7-on-7 and scrimmages went on, and you've noticed that. He knows what his reads are now, stays back, and when he needs to come up, like you talked about this past week, when he needs to come up, he will come up and lay the boom on people, that's for sure. He's definitely the hardest hitter in your family. Right?
I was going to give you 20 here.
No, but just a great kid, senior leader. He might not lead as far as the vocal things go, but he definitely needs practice. It's all go all the time, games all go all the time. So he's definitely a leader by example. So he's definitely going to be missed, next season, obviously. We got a long season to go, so hopefully he can make some plays and get on offense as the year progresses too. I know he wants to carry the ball here and there. We've been, kind of shifting him running back just occasionally, but he's a hitter. That's his forte and that's his specialty. So, and I love to see that. I only play defense, so like I said, that's the best compliment to me a coach can give you is tell you you're a hitter. Just a great kid. Can't wait to see the rest of the year with him.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. Continue to work on that leadership because, we fly out of this field house at kickoff. These kids need to be pumped up, you know what I mean? And I'm not so sure we really were against Liberty Union. I don't know. But be a leader in here before you get out there. And then once you get out there, stay a leader, all right? You finished last week with 14 tackles total, and 10 of those were unassisted, which means solo, all by himself. So that's great. So keep up the good work, man, and listen, I wish you nothing but the best of luck tomorrow night and the rest of the season.
Thank you.
We'll take a short break and we'll be back with our next guest of this evening, Braden Baker. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with our second guest of the night, Braden Baker. Braden, excited to have you on the show, bud. Real excited to see you on the football field. Honestly, you're a big kid with all kinds of athletic ability, good size, and last Friday you could tell that you fit in. This was your first varsity football game, and first football game in high school, and to play varsity and start both sides of the ball. Pretty impressive, man. But I thought you looked great. Tell us your thoughts on your first game, playing both sides of the ball, and was it what you expected?
Yeah, it was real fun. I didn't think it was going to be anything like that.
Yeah.
I love hitting people. That was fun. Then getting through the line, working, that was fun.
Well, cool, man. Yeah, it's a little different when you're actually in an actual game. You're not down here on the practice field or going kind of slow motion in a 7-on-7 or a scrimmage or what have you. So, yeah, well, that's cool, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I remember talking to your dad in the earlier part of the season, actually before practice even started, and he had told me that one of his biggest regrets that he told you was that he never played high school football. So, and I truly believe that, Chad. Chad's a genuine dude. Now, you have a lot of friends on this team, too, like you, Corbin and Ashton, you know, you're a Louisville kid just like me. Huh? So, how'd you make the decision? I mean, was it your friends, or was it just something you really wanted to do? Give it a try?
Friends, and I wanted to do it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think so far?
Love it.
Love it?
Mm-hmm.
Come back next year? I mean, this is a long season. We're only in week
Yeah,
2.
we got 10 seasons.
Well, good for you. So listen, you played both sides of the line last week, and on defense, you finished with 5 tackles. And, you know, starting on the line offensively, we had 311 total yards, I believe. Cooper had 163 yards rushing. That doesn't come easy if there's no holes for a running back to get through. So, great job there. Let's start with defense first. We're, you know, to make 5 tackles, and they broke some long runs a few different times. So, but to have 5 tackles, what did you prepare for? Were there schemes, a scouting report, film?
Scouting, film, just firing off the ball, getting through the line.
Now, offensively, was it difficult? I mean, this was your first game, man. Was it difficult to read, like, assignments and alignments and defenses and block the tackle, the linebacker, the nose guard?
Yeah, some of the time on film we seen their linebackers shooting the egg up a lot, so I had to watch for that a lot of the time. If I was double teaming, I'd have to go off my double team, hit the linebacker coming in the gap.
Who knows what he's talking about?
I put a smile on my face. I did. I put a smile on my face.
So you got 1 game under your belt, 4 quarters. I'm sure you made a mistake here and there, because it was all new to you, man. Everybody's going to make a mistake. You're going to make more when you're new to the game. What did you learn, and what do you think that you need to work on moving forward to get better? Because our line did a pretty good job. You don't rush for, our quarterback doesn't rush for 163 yards without you guys, and we don't have 311 total yards without you guys. So I'm sure there's some things that you think you need to improve on. Can you fill us in on a few of those?
Yeah, on defense, getting down, be able to fire off the ball quicker, getting the count on the offense, firing off the ball there, keeping your double team. That's really about it.
Yeah, well, you know, like I mentioned earlier, this is live game too, so everything's a little quicker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure that's going to take a lot of getting used to. And Liberty Union wasn't a pushover. Liberty Union's a pretty good football team, and they're going to win some games this year. So it's not like, you know, we were playing some slouch. So you know, congratulations again on your performance on both sides of the ball. Now let's get to tomorrow night. Bel Air Big Reds come here, and like I mentioned, I know there's some improvements we need to do offensively and defensively on the line, but what can we expect from you linemen tomorrow night?
Physical, busting through the line, getting that quarterback, keeping the running back from running.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really good back. So yeah, if you guys can stop him at the line of scrimmage, that'd be fantastic. You know, at least slow him up for the linebacker. You know, we had Braden Stimpert on just a few minutes ago, and we don't want Braden to make 14 tackles. Okay? He's our safety. So yeah, we got to do our best to slow him up front. Coach, do you have anything to add on Braden?
You know, I wasn't sure. You always hear about these kids wanting to play, and you just kind of like Chance last year, didn't know. You know, he said he was going to play and wasn't sure. Same thing with Brady. He heard he was going to play. I was excited about it. Big kid, saw him move well on the basketball court, so I was excited about it. But honestly, sitting here listening to him talk, like it literally put a smile on my face, just him talking about the things that we've been teaching. All right, looking at A-gap and certain runs and firing out things we tell him, he soaks up, and that's honestly why he started both ways. So you got a kid that's, when's the last time did you ever play football before? So never played football. Comes in here and he started both ways. And it's not just because he's a big kid. He's putting in the work, putting in the effort, listening to the coaches. So that, you love to hear that as a coach. So it means that we're doing something right and he's doing something right by listening to us, using the tools that we're telling him to do. But on the field so far, he just needs reps. He's doing all the right things and, he needs those full speed game reps like he got last week. That, I think he'll get better and better as weeks go on. Shows in practice too, as he's getting the game reps, like today or yesterday practice, he was firing out better, moving people better. So he's going to slowly get better and better with reps. And honestly, I can't wait to see what he does throughout the season and in the years to come. I think he can be a damn good football player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think your size and I guess maybe Ashton kind of being a mentor, a good friend of yours and a mentor and teaching the ropes of how things work on the line, I think that'd be really beneficial. But yeah, as much as you can absorb from these coaches, it's only going to help you in the future. You're only going to get better. I mean, our line is going to continue to improve. I can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings. But, thanks for taking the time out and being on the show with us this evening. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck tomorrow night and the rest of the season. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll talk a few of the highlights from the Liberty Union football game. Corbin and Owen get a nice stop here, Coach.
Yeah, Corbin gets some nice penetration, and Owen finishes the tackle.
Ashton Lumbatis gets a tackle for a loss.
Ashton does a great job of shedding off the blocker and getting the stop.
Cooper Howe scrambles for a long gain.
Cooper does a nice job of stepping up and evading the pressure.
Owen Howard with a nice stop for no gain.
Owen does a great job of stepping up and getting the tackle.
Cooper and Stiver do a good job of shutting down the sweep.
Stiver does a great job of getting rid of his blocker to make the tackle.
Cooper hits Corbin Farnsworth for a long gain.
Corbin takes the short pass and turns it into that long gain.
A.J. Rudder with first touchdown of the year.
We get a nice seal block from Corbin and some nice blocks outside, allowing A.J. to walk in.
Cooper Howe with a long run.
Here we run a counter and get some nice blocks, allowing Cooper to run for a big play.
Max with a nice run outside.
Max shows off some speed to the outside and shows his toughness with the extra yards.
A.J. Rudder punches in a second touchdown of the night.
A.J. runs through a big hole for another touchdown.
Cooper Howe runs in the 2-point conversion.
Cooper gets in on a nice cutback.
Owen makes another stop for a loss.
Once again, Owen shows his toughness for another stop in the backfield.
Lucas Stiver makes a stop in the backfield.
Stiver does a great job of reading the play and getting the stop.
Lucas Stiver with a quarterback sack.
Stiver does a great job of beating the block to the outside and getting to the quarterback.
Cooper Howe with another long run.
Here we get some nice blocks from Braden Baker and Corbin, allowing for the long run from Cooper.
Ashton Lumbatis with a tackle for a loss.
Ashton reads the screen well and gets the ball carried down for a loss.
When we return, we will preview this week's opponent, the 1-0 Bel Air Big Reds. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Coach, we've talked about Buckeye Local, we've talked with a few Seminole football players. Now it's time to move on to the Bel Air Big Race. They won last week, 31-6 against Buckeye Local. They have some athletes. They've got some kids, so we've got to be prepared.
Yeah, and they're a good team. Honestly, they're kind of athletic everywhere. Even their line, offensive and defensive lines, they're not real big, but they're athletic kids. They can move well, use good leverage, block pretty well. They're skilled guys at where they've got, they're all kind of fast, really. They got quite a few of them. Number 22, Pettigrew boy, he's a little bit of everywhere, mainly wide receiver, and he's fast. He's probably one of the fastest kids that I've seen in my 3 years of coaching. So when he gets the ball in his hands, it's pretty electric. You got to watch out. You know what I mean? So we're not the fastest team in the world overall. So we got to keep an eye on him. That's kind of been our plan. Kind of, you got to know where 22 is at all times. Yeah.
Yeah, I've read a lot about him in the preview and what have you. So I think they put him in several different positions, right? I mean, they try to get him involved. He's not in the backfield a whole lot.
No, not too much in the backfield. I'm sure they will, maybe as the year goes on. But the first game there we got film of against Buckeye Local, he was mainly split out. I mean, different places split out, but they would run a lot of screens with him, things like that, trying to get him the ball, make sure he gets the ball. But when he gets the ball in his hands, you got to look out. So I think they kind of move him around, trying to not hide him, but just get him in different situations.
What about defensively? What kind of they don't pose any issues defensively?
Yeah, I mean they're quick. Like I said, the funny thing is they all look the same. There's not really any big ones. They're all just kind of good, athletic looking kids. So their ends really come hard. They run a 4-3, so they got 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. The Pettigrew boy plays safety, so there's probably not too many deep balls, and he's lurking back there at safety. So, but they're not. I mean, we're bigger than them. I think we can, maybe move the ball and offensively, run the ball. That's the hope. But they're quick. You got to get hands on them. They remind me of Whitaker last year, honestly. Just a quick defensive tackle ends. A lot of them, kind of even the look at him, not quite as big as Whitaker, but. No, they're good. They go to the ball well. They're taught. You can tell they're coached well. Both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively.
What about other skilled players? Do they primarily run?
They spread it out against Buckeye Local, and they ran a lot of screens. They ran a lot of quick routes. The quarterback has a decent arm, moves really well in the pocket. Not like a speed burner in it, but moved well, shifted well in the pocket. So you got to keep an eye on him. But honestly, the running back's pretty good too. He's pretty shifty, he can run well. And the other 2 or 3 receivers are the same way. Like I said, they're almost all the same, really. They're all pretty athletic. Now, 22 Pettigrew, he's kind of a step above. But you got to have eyes on all of them.
I got to imagine they probably have a few more kids on their roster as opposed to us. Bel Air predominantly has a large football team.
Right, yeah, they've got a decent-sized team. I mean, nothing crazy. I think it's in the mid-40s, low 40s, so it's not anything too crazy compared to what we've got. I think in the past years they were a little bit down, actually. They've been building back up and putting the program back up. So we play them. We scrimmage in junior high and stuff, and they had just maybe 10, 12 more kids than our junior high. So it seems roughly what we're going to see is maybe 10 more. But I think it's a good matchup. Super excited that we're playing them, honestly. We've never played them in Woodsfield or Monroe Central.
That's what I was going to ask, 'cause I know you follow all that stuff in the
Yeah.
history of the program. I don't remember ever playing.
No, I think maybe back in like the 30s or something weird, they might have played Blair or something, but nothing in modern day history that we played them. So it's another OVAC opponent, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, I went to the George Strager Memorial Campus, St. Clairsville.
Yeah.
Jerry Galloway was there. I still have the T-shirt.
He was a heck of a player.
Jerry
I
Galloway.
remember watching him in the OVA All-Star game, and I was like, wow.
I think the sideliners years ago had taken us up to Columbus to watch.
We watched one game, and they played in Colorado, I think. Yeah. Yep. That was fun.
Remember?
Yeah.
You just
It's
had a birthday too. You still got
That's right.
All right, you got anything else to add on, Coach? I mean, I know they're a talented football team. They're coming off a win, we're coming off a loss, but we do have them here at home.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, looking forward, I think the crowd's gonna be kind of, good crowd. I would say they travel pretty well. They've got a lot of pride and tradition in that program. They have a YouTube channel like us and things like that, so, should be a good game, should be a fun one. Good crowd, good game. That's what we can hope for.
Yeah, good deal. Let's take a short break, Coach, and when we return, we'll talk about some of the events that will take place tomorrow night. Welcome back to the show, folks. Tomorrow night we have a full slate of events. I want to share some of the info with you. Tomorrow night is junior high night. Tickets will be on sale at the gate for $6 a piece. The sideliners will be selling 50-50 tickets. They'll be available at both gates. As always, the sideliners will be selling sausage sandwiches just outside the field house. Here's these football moms, Coach. They're always busy every year.
They are.
Football moms will be selling programs at the gate for $5. They will also be selling game ball raffle tickets. $1 each or 6 for $5. They will be selling some apparel at the home gate as well. Also be selling, and this is new, Coach, the field goal contest tickets.
I can't wait.
So at halftime, listen up for all you kickers. At halftime, we'll draw a winner. Tickets are $10 a piece. That person that we draw will go out on the field at halftime and attempt a 25-yard field goal. If that field goal is good, you win a tire rotation, an oil change, and a full vehicle detail donated by Matt Longwell of Northwood Services. It's going to be fun to watch.
I might stay out there for a minute just to watch the kick.
I might sign up some of my buddies. So yeah, that's something new this year. That's going to be pretty cool to see. Also, we'd like to thank Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company. They sponsor the mini footballs that the cheerleaders will be throwing out every home game. I think 200 mini footballs the cheerleaders will be throwing out. So thank you to Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company. Also, game ball sponsor tomorrow night will be Richard and Kathy Russell. They will sponsor the game ball, and they wanted to tell everyone good luck, Braden Stempert and Kennedy Russell. Some of the key dates for the upcoming week. This week's youth games will be at Cameron this Sunday, August 31st at 1:30 and 3:30. And the next junior high game will be at River on September 4th at 6 p.m. So that's a lot to take in, Coach. That's a full slate of events scheduled for tomorrow night and play a football game. So, but it's Monroe Central football. That's kind of what we do here every Friday night.
It is, and you mentioned all those things that are going on, and it is an event. High school football is an event. Monroe Central definitely is an event, and it takes a lot of people, to put a game on. A lot more people than people realize. Like I said, those football games. It's not just you come here on Friday and it happens. It's kind of a week leading up to those things, doing a lot of things, cleaning things, getting the field ready. So, like I said, I'm not going to list all the people and thank them. But I'd like to just thank kind of everybody that helps. You guys know who you are, from painting the field to cleaning the press boxes to doing the clock on Friday night, the announcers, just all those guys. It literally takes a small army to get a Friday night game the way it should be, the proper way and the first class way that we run things. So, I just want to thank all those guys. Thank you for doing this show. You paint the field, you sell the squares, you help out in a lot of ways. So there's just a lot of guys like that. And it's always been like that here at Monroe Central. You know what I mean?
Yeah, without a doubt. Seems like everybody has their hands in something. The football moms, they do so much work, every week we announce what they do and the stuff they do behind the scenes that we don't tell everybody, you know what I mean? So and the sideliners, kudos to those guys, come out here virtually with a blank field on Wednesday and, got it all painted and looking good. The field's in excellent shape and that's all sideliners, what I mean? We keep the field, watered and fresh and, I guarantee you there's not a grass field in week 2 in this valley that looks like ours.
Right.
It's an amazing field, but it takes everybody's effort
It really
to
does.
make it all happen. It's not just one guy. It's not just one sideline or one football mom. It takes everybody. So, kudos to the sideliners and the football moms. And one thing I do want to mention is the winners of last week's football board. The first quarter winner was Todd Allum. The second quarter winner was Dalton Ramage. Third quarter winner was also Dalton Ramage. And the final winner was Darren Dimmerling. And thank you, Darren, for donating your winnings back to Monroe Central Sideliners and this football team. Coach, that pretty much brings this thing to a wrap.
That's right. So you just gotta play a football game now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate your time, and like I said earlier, it's time to put that week 1 loss. It was a heartbreaker. It was tough. We got to put it behind us and move on. Against a very good Bel Air football team, but that's just the way our cards are dealt.
That's right.
But don't forget about the talent we have here in this locker room, and the heart and the passion and the time that these kids poured into this program this summer. So. We're no slouch by no means, so we'll be ready, I guarantee you, on Friday night. So once again, thanks for your time. Thank you everyone for watching, and join us here again next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Go Noles.